Hello, family. Welcome back to the channel, The Business Strategy Analyst. This is your usual presenter, Jules Nartey-Tokoli. Today, we are continuing our series of the value pyramid of management, and we are looking at part 4. And the question is your customer a part of your organization? That is, again, is your customer a part of your organization? Why is this question important? We are going to answer that question soon. But before then, in our previous discussions of the value pyramid of management of VPM, we mentioned nature, society, and human resources as the 3 most important factors in business strategy. Technically, all these 3 components of the VPM are actually customers since the business deals with them. And so are the remaining 2, management, shareholder. In this context, then, it is safe to conclude that the customer is an integral part of the organization and part of the survival of the organization. In view of the importance of the customer, then, we want to dedicate this discussion to the customer. However, our focus on this will be the customer who is described as the one who patronizes the goods and services of the business. So who is your customer? I have come across 2 definitions of what customer means. One is a person who buys goods or services from a shop or business. This is the customer that many have in mind when they refer to the word customer. However, there is another definition. Quote, a person or thing of a specific kind that one has to deal with, unquote, from the Concise Oxford Dictionary. While this definition would not necessarily refer to a business-related issue, it still gives us some insight into who or what a customer may be. Isn't it the case? Definitely. So now let's look at who the customer is. There will be no reason to start a business if there were no customers to begin with. It is the customer that sustains the business financially. This critical role of the customer is also what leads to the creation of a business. In what way? Well, marketing is the blueprint of every business, and marketing begins with the conception of a product or service to meet a need in society. However, in order to conceive a viable product or service, the customer should be in mind. The marketer needs to first of all identify the needs of the customer. Following that, he will find creative and innovative ways of satisfying those needs in a manner that it will be a win-win situation for both the business and the customer. The customer is thus the one that inspires marketing, the blueprints of an organization. That's how important the customer is. From the above reasoning, it is clear then that the customer should be at the center of whatever the business does. How can you accomplish that? First of all, let's look at your strategy. In your strategy, what is the single most important reason why you set up the business? If profit is that most important element, your strategy is already a failure. Granted, you may be achieving the aim of profits, but that does not change the fact that your business is a failure. I'm sorry to say that. Nature and society or humanity are very critical ingredients in the strategy mix. When profits are made the most important element in business, It disregards nature and society. And when that happens, it means the business strategy is not sustainable. It is not fluid. And such a business will definitely collapse when nature and society are severely dented, if not destroyed. On the other hand, when nature and society are duly considered, that is when, in seeking to identify and satisfy the needs of the customer, the business will endeavor to do so in a preserving, sustainable manner. Once that condition is satisfied, the customer will always be there and the profits will follow as a matter of course. From what we've been discussing so far, then, the customer is at the heart of your business. That is why you have to accord some special reverence to him or her. In many businesses, the customer is treated as an outsider, an unwanted person whose only worth is the size of his packet. That is self-defeating, since all of us are customers in one way or the other. If you treat your customer disdainfully, you are actually doing that to yourself first and humanity in general. If people are tried in The Hague for crimes against humanity, then you are equally liable, except that our laws haven't recognized that yet. Do you agree with me? Definitely. So that is how it goes. We have to be careful about how we treat our customers. Another important step to take in order to accomplish making your customer a part of your organization, apart from the strategy that we just discussed, is your product or service. The product or service you provide should meet a certain definite need, apart from verifying that your product or service is environmentally and societally friendly. You need to make sure that it meets the specific need of their customer. What you claim to be solving should actually be solved, and your product or service should be simple and easy to use. Why do we say so? Why is Apple such a dynamic brand? Well, an appreciation of a bit of how its founder thought might help. Steve Jobs decided that software should not simply be functional, but it should also be aesthetic to make its use pleasant. No wonder that simple mindset is what will propel the development of products that are not just functional, but easy and pleasant to use. Hence, the dynamism in product design. Whatever you produce, then, make sure that it is not entangled in complexity to the point of making life more complicated for your customer. And that will prove that your organization is customer centric. Your profits will simply flow to reward your honest, kind, and hard work. Price. Your price determines the customers you attract. Indeed, pricing is not as easy as it seems. It is not simply total cost plus a markup you will call profit. It defines the total experience of the customer with the product or service and the organization. A customer-centric organization will thus make a mix of factors, including psychology and otherwise. It will take them into consideration in determining the price. These elements dictate how a customer becomes a part of your environment or the organization. Place or distribution. How accessible is your product or service, and under what conditions is it dispensed? These are some of the factors that determine whether your customer is considered a part of the organization or not. For example, when it comes to the physical nature and appearance of your business premises, is it well lit? Is it well ventilated? Are there ramps for wheelchairs? What is the nature of your chairs? Are they comfortable? All this and other considerations indicate to the customer whether he is welcome or not, whether he is part of the organization or not. Promotion. Advertising is very crucial in letting people know what you do and how they can be benefited. However, in deciding the kind of advertisement to put out, do you consider the sensibilities of your customers? Would your customers feel comfortable being associated with your product or service? Advertisement creates images. Whether you respect your customers or not, whether you consider them a part of your organization or business or not, can all be discerned from the kind of advertisement you do. People. Your employees that dispense your product or service are as important as the product or service itself. Their attitude, their dress and grooming, and the like all go a long way in making your customer a part of your organization. For example, rude employees repel customers. Their attitude sends a "you are not welcome here" signal to customers. On the other hand, the respectful manner they receive and treat customers can make them feel at home. They are made to feel a part of the organization. Embrace the customer. How does your organization measure up to the points we've discussed? If you are already doing so, I encourage you to continue and even make further improvements. But if you are not, are you willing to make the changes? It is important that every organization embraces the customer as part of its family. The customer is at the core of the success or otherwise of your business. If you are ready to accept him or her as a very important part of your business, it will inspire you to come up with more innovation and creation. And as you continue to delight your customer, you may as well come to realize that their word of mouth commendation and referral is more effective than any advertisements you put up. So, here are the takeaways from what we've been discussing so far today. The customer is the one that inspires marketing, the blueprint of an organization. The customer is at the heart of your business. That is why you have to accord some special reverence to him or her. Whatever you produce, make sure that it is not entangled in complexity to the point of making life more complicated for your customer. Price is not simply total cost plus a markup you will call profit. It defines the total experience of the customer with the product or service and the organization. Thanks again, ladies and gentlemen, for watching another episode of the Business Strategy Analyst. The next component on the value pyramid of management that we shall be looking at is management. Please make a deal with me. Also, in case you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. Also, please feel free to like and share the video. Thanks again for your generous support. It is most appreciated. Until the next video, please have a great customer service week. I'm out of here.